Just a quick one before we dive in. I've just opened up 2 brand new ways to work with me. If you're an established beauty professional who's ready to increase your revenue, either in your clinic or by moving into the online mentoring and educational space, you can join me for a 2-month container where we build and validate your first online offer or your next big move. Or if you're ready to go all in, there is a 7-month private mentorship where we build, launch and scale your new revenue stream together. If you're not sure which one's right for you, I'm offering a handful of free business clarity calls, quick and powerful to map out your fastest path and to see which container fits best. Just DM me the word revenue on Instagram or check the link in the show notes and email me. Let's get into the episode. Welcome to the Beauty Build podcast with me, Zara King. As a coach for beauty pros, it is my mission to help you earn more, work less, and create an unstoppable mindset. This is the show where we explore all of that. So whether you're a seasoned pro or just starting your beauty business, this podcast is for you. So sit back, relax, and join us on the journey. And for more, get yourself inside my private community, The Beauty Build on Facebook. Hello, you gorgeous beauty pro, and welcome back to another episode of the Beauty Build podcast with me, Zara King. Today, I had the absolute pleasure of talking to Rider Latham, the CEO at Solo and Secret Spa. He has been on this podcast before. He was on it last year. We did episode 38 on how to build your dream business. And that was a fantastic episode. If you haven't listened to it, I would highly recommend you go back and listen to it after you've listened to this one. Today's episode is a really important conversation all around SEO, aka search engine optimization. This is really important for you guys to know how to master in your beauty businesses so that you can rank on Google. So I really hope that you get into this episode, write down some notes, get into it, and honestly implement the things that we're talking about. It is so important and it can save you time. It can make you money. So I really hope you love this episode. If you do, please take a screenshot, pop it on your stories and tag me. I love to know your thoughts. Also, don't forget to follow and leave a review. That would be perfect. But let's get into the episode. So, Ryder, for the people that have no idea who you are and what you do, can you please tell us who you are and just give us a bit about why you're doing what you're doing in the beauty industry with Solo in regards to SEO?
Yes, for sure. So look, for those who don't know who I am, my name's Ryder. I'm CEO and co-founder of Solo. My I got into the beauty industry, I suppose, somewhat by accident back in 2016. Had a crazy conversation around the family dinner table with my sister. What would it be to build the Uber for beauty and wellness? And fast forward a few years, and we'd launched something called Secret Spa, which is still the UK's largest marketplace for at-home hair, beauty, and wellness professionals. So it really started off building a marketplace in the industry. And then in about 2022, we were scaling Secret Spa across the UK and had this conversation that changed everything. I spoke to one of the professionals on the platform. I said, what would it take to have your whole diary and to have you fully working on Secret Spa? And she told me, Ryder, it is never, ever, ever going to happen because I'm an independent entrepreneur and my dream is to build a business of my own, to use Secret Spa for some bookings, but to ultimately have my own home salon and then to also do some mobile bookings on the side. And that's what changed everything for me. That's when we set up Solo with the mission of just helping independent professionals to build their dream business, to really help that person in her journey into having whatever her version of her dream business looks like. And really, it's about pride in your brand, it's about control of your time, and most importantly, it's about economic security and frankly, making more money than you thought you could ever make before. And really, that's been the mission been on for the last 3 years. And I'll talk about how it's led to kind of SEO and getting to the top of Google in a sec. But, just to break down that mission of helping people build their dream business, a massive component of it is finding new clients. We spoke to businesses, we've built a lot of software over the last 3 years. But when it comes down to it, you speak to professionals of all levels and you say, do you want more new clients? And they go, yeah, that would be nice. It's the number one challenge. And really, the last year, we've been super focused on solving that for businesses. And, when it comes down to it, we've got, 2,000 professionals using the platform, growing at about 500 professionals a month, growth's really quick. And we chatted to all of them and we asked the question, like, how do you guys find new clients? What does this actually look like? And what it comes down to is normally three things. The first is lots of people have used marketplaces, right?
Mm.
I think maybe on our last podcast we had a discussion on marketplaces. I built one of the UK's biggest marketplaces for at-home professionals and their marketplace as well. But they have problems, right? You have to give a significant proportion of your income to the marketplaces, whether it's new clients or repeat clients. You've got to give up your brand and effectively rent your online position on the digital high street. So
Mm.
marketplaces are one of them, but they have their drawbacks. The second one is social media. We all know this well. There's pressure from every angle saying do more on social media, do more on social media. And look, lots of people do make that work.
Mm.
There's no two ways about it. Like lots of people do make it work, but lots of people sit there super stressed and go, I just don't have the time for this. Like I'm not comfortable putting myself out there. Then of course you got word of mouth. That's the lifeblood, and that's about doing a great service. But again, word of mouth is slow, takes time.
Mm.
And then finally, what we really started to see when we looked at all our businesses is some people have cracked SEO or search engine optimization, which basically means getting to the top of Google. And I think that was the insight that we saw maybe 5-10% of businesses who'd worked it out over the years. And it's just incredible when you get it to work because it is the least time consuming of these ways. And when you get it done correctly, it's the gift that keeps on giving because
Mm.
clients commission free and it does not take nearly the same amount of effort as all those other different tactics that I mentioned.
Mm. I love that. So why should the independent beauty pros actually care about this, I guess? And in layman's terms, I know you just said search engine optimization, which is what it stands for, but what exactly is it to them other than, is there anything more than just ranking top on Google? Like, what exactly is it? Tell us.
Yeah, I think when people talk about search engine optimization, they might be talking about Bing as well. But let's make it really simple. Like it's all about Google.
Hmm.
Google is the world's biggest marketplace. Like, don't let's not kid ourselves. Like, the biggest marketplace in the UK for hair, beauty, and wellness services is Google. It's not Fresher, it's not Treatwell, it's not Booksy, it's not Secret Spa. It is Google. Like, there's no two ways about it. And why people need to care about it, I'll just read you out some stats, right?
Yeah.
9 out of 10 consumers, so potential clients, use Google to find a local business last year. 9 out of 10. So people are going to Google, and what are they typing? They're typing nails near me, brow tech near me, lash tech in my location. And the thing about those consumers is they're ready to book now. So on social
Mm.
media, people are browsing. That looks fun. That's nice nail art. Maybe I'll book that for Halloween, or maybe I'll just forget about it. When someone is typing nail salon near me, they're ready to go, right? They want to make a booking. They're changing the place they're going to. They just moved to an area, whatever it might be. They're in a rush. They're in an emergency. And the conversion rate. So it's just 5 times more likely when someone that one of those customers ends up becoming one of your clients than when they're just seeing you on social media. And then the final thing is like consumers love Google. So searches, so near me searches, which are those sort of local ones, which are so powerful for your business, they're up 3x over the last 2 years. So like consumers
Okay.
are getting used to going to Google and searching for stuff. So it
Mm.
just is such a big opportunity for businesses. And I think it's just so overlooked. I mean, I think
Mm.
that's the main thing is it seems intimidating, it seems tough. Um, so look, it's all about Google. Let me
Mhm.
break down Google, and this is, for the people who are watching this, I can share my screen and just show you exactly what we're talking about when we're talking about getting to the top of Google. Is that
Yes.
cool? I'll send a request to let me share my screen, and then
There we go.
okay, one
I
sec.
remember being so intimidated by SEO Rider when I did my WordPress website in 2020
Yeah.
and it had an SEO section and everything and it was scoring me. It's so difficult. I found it so difficult to get into the green, like green means go, green means good SEO score. And I was always like amber at like, random I'd get into green, but I found it really difficult. Why is that?
it's just one of the things is Google's constantly changing. So that's
Right.
one the hard thing about it. Like SEO is constantly evolving as Google tries to get better and better search results. And it's a bit of a game, right? It's
Mm,
like businesses work out how to game it. And I'll talk about that in relation to the marketplaces in the moment. And
mm,
then Google works out that some businesses is getting too much visibility and that they need to readdress and redo the algorithms. So
okay.
I can run you through this on my screen. Um, so look, what we have here is a search, gel nails in Glastonbury, right? Glastonbury's in the festival. It's a kind of classic local area search. So that would be, I don't know, 2,000 people a month, I think, might be searching gel nails in Glastonbury or something along those lines.
Mm,
And when you scroll down, right, you actually get a few different types of results on Google, depending on if you're on desktop or mobile. So the first thing is you get the kind of find results box, and you'll see Booksy, you'll see a Facebook page on there, you'll see Yelp. And then the next thing which Google's introduced is you see what we call the local pack, the map pack. And that
mhm,
really is the massive opportunity for local businesses. Because the reason why this is so great for local businesses is the marketplaces cannot get on this. So this
right.
is your chance to get on the map pack and outrank the marketplaces. And it's actually a kind of separate algorithm, or it's a separate way that Google works. But it's
Mm,
so powerful because if someone's typing it in their Google Maps or if they're typing on search, you have local businesses here getting right to the top, which is so powerful. And then as you go down through the kind of listings, you get into your more classic, what we call organic search listings. And here, what you'll see is you've got an independent business here called Olive and Gracie. Then you've got Fresher. Then you've got someone called Indigo Raven, which looks like an independent business. Then you've got Booksy. Then you've got Fresher. Then you've got Yelp. And
right.
really, the goal of what we're doing at Solo is showing businesses how to get to the top and helping them get to the top of the map pack and the top of the organic listings. So they outrank the marketplaces and then they also outrank the local competition. Because
Mhm,
if you get in those top three spots, you're going to pick up 30 to 40% of the clicks. So there's no point on being on page two. There's barely any point in being in position 10. You
mhm,
want to get ranked in those top three spots for those local searches. And that's just, that is the name of the game. And just to kind of jump to the answer, right? What does this all add up to, right? It adds up to 5 to 30 new clients a month who are coming to your business commission free.
mhm.
That's the results we're seeing, right? Somewhere between 5 to 30 new clients. Now, let's do some simple maths, right? Five new clients, those clients go on to make, I don't know, £200 of bookings over the course of the next year with you. That's £1,000 a month of revenue that you can be generating without having to pay any commissions. So it is the way you beat the marketplaces, and it's just so important. It's so impactful when businesses do it properly.
Mm. Would you say that SEO is more important than social media for people getting clients?
I think it is easier. I think
Okay.
it takes less time. I think that SEO is a constant thing, right? You've always got to be posting. I think that both are important.
Mm,
I just think SEO is such an easy part of the mix to establish if you get it right.
okay.
So I think both are important. But look, we talk to a lot of businesses, right? And SEO is super intimidating. SEO is super intimidating. Social media is super intimidating. But people really just feel like they don't have the time for
Yeah.
either. And a lot of people with social media struggle to put themselves out there. Oh.
They do. I was going to ask you as well, Ryder. Does the content that we post on our social media contribute to any of this Google search? Because these days I have heard that there was something that went around a couple of weeks ago that your content is now public and it will come up in searches unless you've turned that feature off, for example. So is that helping or not?
So again, how so maybe let's ask the kind of uh, the higher level, the bigger question, which is like how's Google working, right? Like what's
Yeah,
behind this? Like what gets you to the top? So fundamentally, Google is looking for a signal that your business is open
yeah.
and trading, and it's looking for signals to do with trust. Is your business like half decent? And it uses that to then make sure the businesses that look most active, that look most trustworthy, get to the top of Google. So there's a bunch of factors that contribute to it. Being active on social media is, one signal Google looks at, but it's not the biggest. The
Mm.
biggest signal is what we're looking at here, which is getting reviews on your Google business profile. That is
Yeah.
the most powerful thing. And then there's another technique, and I'll show it in a sec, which is actually treating your Google business profile. So the Google business profile is what controls what shows on your maps,
Mhm.
getting regular updates onto your Google business profile. So I'm going to just jump to a business that we've been working with that's been incredibly successful. So
Okay.
I'm going to another search here now, gel nails in Rayleigh. And what we're able to see, right, is the gel nail gang is in the #1 position on the map pack. So when anytime someone searches it, they've got 22 reviews. And what's even better is when you scroll down further, their solo website is the #1 spot. It's outranking Fresher. It's outranking the local competition.
Hmm.
So how and we know Shen well. She, how's she been able to do this? So when we look at it, the first thing you see, right, is 22 5-star reviews. Like it's not amazing, right? It's pretty good, but it's not like hundreds and hundreds.
Mm.
But the key is that they're recent and there's a decent velocity of them. So she's normally getting 1 or 2 a week at the moment since she's been working with us. And that makes a big difference. So you're just getting like a regular amount of reviews coming on. You don't have to have 150 necessarily. And the other thing is you don't have to have way more than the competition. This
Okay.
shows you can have less than the competition. They just need to be regular and they need to be legitimate as well. I'd really stress that point. Google's clever enough to work out where the reviews are coming from. They look at your IP address, right? So
Mm.
if a bunch of reviews start coming from, the Philippines, for example, Google will know that and it won't look at them. The
Okay.
next key element which I'm showing here is the updates section of the Google My Business profile. So
Right.
what you will see here is you will see Shen is actually treating her Google business profile like Instagram, right? This is a kind of crazy concept. You need to treat Google like Instagram. And that means posting up regular updates because again, that's telling Google this business is legit. This business it should be ranked for the right keywords. And then they'll start ranking your business higher. So Shen is posting updates, even just one every 2 weeks. And that is a key part of why, with 22 reviews, which are all 5-star, which is great, she's outranking a business with 157 reviews. So I'd really, really recommend reviews and regular updates because then you get this massive, let's call it alchemy of Google just saying your business is real, your business is trustworthy, especially when normally the competition in your local area is so poor and so bad at this. And
Mm.
here's the really cool thing. When it sees that in the Google My Business profile and it's connected to your website, which is what kind of Solo does seamlessly, it then
Yeah.
elevates your website in this part of the link, so in the organic searches. And look, for anyone who's listening to this, we're more than happy to, jump on a call with them and show them how it works. I appreciate that this is a bit of a visual thing.
Hmm.
You get this interaction between the Google Business profile and the map pack and then your website. And the end result is suddenly a business rockets up. In Shen's case, I mean, she only works part time and she basically, her phone doesn't stop ringing because there's so many people who want the book with her. And she's actually like already fully booked and only works in the evenings.
Amazing.
So it's just, I'd really, if there's a few things to take into account, you need to get your website set up and looking trustworthy. And I can talk more about what that looks like. But then you need to get your Google business profile and your map pack all working in tandem with it, regularly updated. And then the two come together. And what it does is it surges you up. And really the dream, right, is when in your local area, you want to be outranking Fresher, and you want to be outranking Treatwell and those businesses.
Hmm.
Uh,
I was going to ask you like how long it takes to sort of start ranking on Google when you start, say I sorted out my Google profile, say I did go with you guys and said, sort me out this website that you do that jumps the queue kind of thing and gets me there. How long is it when you start seeing results with like people like this that you work with?
we always we kind of read around this and we try to manage people's expectations. We'd
Of
say
course.
we'd say 4 weeks. But
Okay.
when we started doing this, I think we've worked with 200 businesses now in the last 3 months. We're seeing
Mhm.
results within a week, right? Results within 1 week. And we've been blown away by it. It's really, really incredible. I mean, I actually have, I mean, this again might be too much detail, but I have Shen's stats here for anyone again on the visuals, right? This is what her business looked like come the 19th of May in terms
Mhm.
of how many impressions she was getting on Google. And then we started working on it, and it suddenly shoots up so that 100 people a day are often seeing her business. And the
Mhm.
great thing about the tech that we built, right, is you get all this data. So she can see where she ranks for all these different keyword searches. So Biab Nails, she's in position 4. Nail Salon Rayleigh, position 6. Gel Nail Gang, which is her own brand, 4. Gel Nails Rayleigh, position 2.9. And so you can really see the impact on your business super, super quickly. And it's
Mhm.
just, we've been blown away. And like I said, for businesses, suddenly they might be on a marketplace, they might be spending 100, 200, 300 pounds a month on new client commissions. And you do this and you're getting the same amount of new clients, but with no commission. So
Mhm.
really, people are saying this is worth £2,000 a year to me. Now that's obviously not what we charge. We want people to be able to do it by themselves as much as possible, use our service to help them. But
Mhm.
this is an incredible thing. I really see the marketplaces and the way they're built as a tax on the industry in the UK, where they've worked that out to get their pages to the top of Google and then justify these high commission rates. And I just think it actually is holding back so many businesses because 2, 3 grand extra a year could be in your back pocket. It could be allowing you to drop a day. It could be allowing you to drop a day and focus on marketing. I mean, just it is this huge tax on the industry. And I really just think at the end of the day with those marketplaces, they're built on the back of Google. They're just good at Google. And they are taking those clients who are searching Google and then capturing them on their marketplaces. Yeah, and we're really passionate about helping people put 2, 3 grand a year back in people's pockets because they're
Mhm.
giving up to the marketplaces.
Okay. I love all of this. I've got so many questions, but I do want to ask you, when it comes to having updates and really doing well with this, do you think people need to be experimenting with things like blogging and longer form content on a website, or does that not matter anymore? Because I remember SEO back in the day, I was always like, you've got to have a blog, you've got to be linking external links, do you know what I mean?
You don't have to have a blog.
Don't have
You
to
know,
have anything like
the,
that anymore.
the results have changed. You are much better to post regular updates on Google My Business, short
Mm.
updates. And let's be honest, like it's not the same as Instagram. Like you don't have to really worry about it being the perfect composition. You need to get your updates up there and they can be 2 paragraphs long and it can be an image of something that's going on. And that is much, much more effective than spending hours like trying to write a blog or even worse, writing it with AI and it sounding like everything else. So
Yeah.
I would, yeah, you don't need blogs anymore. Google does like regular content though. Like I don't think it will hurt you. You don't need it. We're about to launch a blogging feature within our website building tool because we
Mm.
think it can be and add an extra 5-10%, but you do not need it. You can get to the top in your local area just by being good at Google My Business Profile and then having a website that looks, that has all the right signals for Google.
Okay. So let's talk about websites then. If I did want to do my own website, what would be the bare minimum that you've got to do? It's got to do with pages, hasn't it? To show up on Google.
Yeah, yeah. So this is where we spent a lot of time. So the big challenge is there's probably like 30 to 40 boxes you need to tick, which is
Okay.
really annoying, right? But there's 30 to 40 boxes you need to tick. Some of them are quite technical. And the problem we found is if you use Squarespace or Wix
Mm.
or WordPress, or even if you work with a third-party agency, it's just hard to tick all those boxes because often like they're just not great at ticking the boxes for local businesses. So it's really tough. Like I want to when I talk about the bare minimum, it's really like it's a lot of small things that you have to do. So really and it's just really annoying because like a tool like Squarespace has like a million features and you don't know really what those are. So what
Mm.
we've done with our websites, and this is obviously the bit where I'm going to be selling what we do, is we basically ticked all those boxes for you. So you just need to create your website, put in your business name, put in some copy, And then our system does all that box ticking. And importantly, there's a button you click and it integrates with your Google My Business. It syncs up your reviews from your Google My Business onto your website, which Google loves. It syncs up your map position. Again, I can show you an example of it as well, which Google loves. And it just integrates perfectly with it. So this is an example of one of our newest types of websites that launches later at the first week of October, actually. So these are your Google reviews that pull down automatically, can be nicely branded. Lookbooks where the images are all formatted in the right size. You have a special tagging system that tells Google to show your images in image search, which it also loves. Treatments that are then syncs up with Google so it knows the sort of treatments you do. About me, contact, and then importantly, a connection to your Google My Business showing your map placement. And then
Mm.
it sounds small, but like having your footer set up in a really nice way with your opening hours and with some special code we put in that sends that data directly to Google. So it sees that the opening hours in your Google My Business is sunk up with the opening hours on your website. That consistency between what's in your Google business profile and then what's on your website is also something it's really looking for. And then, to answer one of the points you made in your question,
Mm.
is really then the power is then creating dedicated pages that target different keywords. So really Google in your area is not one digital high street, it's hundreds, if not thousands of digital high streets. There is a digital high street for typing when someone types in gel nails. There's a digital high street when someone types in nail salon. There's a
Mm.
digital high street when someone types in deep tissue massage or brows. Each one of those search terms is a different digital high street. And the goal is to get in the pole position for as many of them as possible. And that's where these pages come in and are super,
Mm.
super powerful. So, you want to have pages for, in this case, this is for, biab nails. There's a page for gel nails. Pedicures is also a page, all with custom text designed to tell Google if someone is searching for pedicures, this is the person. It has the right FAQs, it has the right content, it has the right images. Google is pretty clever at working all of that out. So multiple pages are the way you increase your catchment area of capturing all of that traffic on Google. The more that, kind of within reason, the more pages, the better. So if you are someone who does nails, who does brows, who might do massage as well, you do all those different therapies. We recommend creating multiple pages for each of those categories so that you're
Mm.
in a position to capture as much of that traffic as possible.
Yeah, I love that. It's reminded me of my old website back in the day because I did all of that. But it's also reminded me of like the fact that people are looking to cheaper alternatives these days and they're creating their own things. And you've mentioned Wix and you've, mentioned Squarespace. But also, Canva does like web pages these days and it's all just one page. And I'm thinking that's probably detrimental, isn't it? It's just made my cogs turn, that's all.
100%. Like the problem, right, we see with websites is
Mm.
Squarespace and Wix are too complicated. They take days to set up properly. You never know if you've made the right decisions when using them. You just
Mm.
don't know. And like often, even if you work with a third party, often they're not particularly good at understanding the SEO side of things. So they might be able to make it look nice, but do they understand the SEO side of things? You have tools like Canva, which is great. You can create these kind of single page brochure things. It's just not designed to rank on Google, though. Like it looks
Mm.
nice if you share it with your mates in a WhatsApp link, but it's not designed to rank on Google. And then you've got this whole world of agencies and third parties and people selling things for thousands of pounds, which we think is crazy. So really, our goal is to allow people to create a stunning website, great branding controls that really feels like it fits their vibe at 10x the speed and 10x the ease. So 10 times faster and easier than Squarespace or Wix with all the SEO done for you so you don't have to get caught up in a muddle. And if you
Mm.
need the extra help, we also have a team who helps take it to the next level in terms of SEO because it does get a little bit more sophisticated. But for most people who want this to be able to be, if you want to get to the top in your local area, you should be able to do it by yourself, or at least do it by yourself, a little bit of help from our team or one of the courses that we've designed as well.
Hmm. I've got a few questions for you, just quickly. Firstly,
domain wise, do you guys offer the service with like a personal domain? If I had byzarakingbeauty.com, you do. You're nodding your head just for the listeners.
Yeah, yeah. So
Perfect.
yeah, so we can do that. And we're very happy to do that.
Mm,
Um, and there's two ways you can do this, right? You can actually have two domains. You could have your domain on the book solo, and then you can have your own domain that maybe you put on your Instagram, and that's fine. The benefit of staying on a book solo domain is you get all of the SEO benefit of the book solo, so our solo domain. You get all that added credibility. And then what you can do is you can actually have, inverted commas, a vanity domain that you put on your Instagram. So you can do it like that. Um, or you can just go straight to your own domain, or you can just stay on the book solo domain. Most people, when they see it working on the book solo domain, realize that it's fine to have that as your primary domain, and you can have a sort of a vanity link that's connected to it.
mm,
I don't say vanity. I think it's great that people own their own brand. There is just this kind of extra benefit of when you do it on under book solo, you just get all of that incredible SEO authority. So you get
mm,
because really all these businesses that have been successful on our domain mean that Google just knows the moment they see a book solo / domain, they know to rank that high. So
mm.
there's lots of options depending on how much you want to you want to kind of own your brand, and there is the option to go it completely alone with our website tool, and then have you complete your own domain. Normally we recommend that you work with our team for like a small fee just to make sure you're doing everything right to build momentum. But yeah, you can cut it whichever way you want, basically.
Yeah. I was going to say, and you've said it there, that it would probably be more beneficial to work with somebody anyway. As somebody that's had experience of building websites myself, I can tell the listeners anyway, if this was available back then for me, I would have 100% done it because of the legwork. And just because it's much better and more productive to pay someone that knows what they're doing. And you have to let go of that ego and go, you know what, you're better than me at this. You do it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. Look, I think our SEO package right now,
Mm,
which we've done hundreds of times before, is £150. And we say to people, like, it's a money back guarantee. We've never had anyone ask for the money back guarantee because basically, if you get one client, it pays for itself over the year. It's as
mm,
simple as that, right? You would hope that that one client goes on to do three, four, five bookings and it pays for itself. Now, in actual fact, we like people to be optimistic that they'll get a minimum of five clients a month, depending on their availability, depending on their location.
yeah.
So yeah, again, we're not in this to kind of make loads of money from SEO services, just to be like, we want to help as many businesses as possible. Our business is selling great software that tens of thousands of people use. So we do it as a way almost just to make it worth our time, just to give people that extra little bit of support so they don't sit there wondering if what they've done is correct.
Okay. So walk me through it. If I said to you, yes, I want to go down the new SEO offering that you guys have, and I want to work with the team as well. How is it? What would it look like for me in comparison to saying I'm going to build my own Wix website tomorrow? What do I have to do?
So it depends how much you want our team support. So we also have we also have a service where you just send us your Instagram, you send us a PDF menu, you send us your marketplace listing,
Mm.
and we just convert it, all over into a website. I think our team maybe does that for 250 quid,
Ah,
which is about a quarter of what some rubbish agency will probably charge you. And here's the really cool thing about it. With the launch of our new websites with inbuilt SEO and then these services, is you don't now have to even use the solo booking software. So you can actually connect your websites, which have SEO built into them, into any booking system. So maybe you're using Freshers booking system. Great, go for it. If you're really into Freshers booking system, you're a bit nervous about moving across, that's fine. Let's have a website that outranks your Fresher listing where you don't pay commission. Or let's say you just really can't let go of DM to book. We still have it with businesses. It's just scary. DM to book, email, whatever it might be. Again, that's fine. let's stick a DM to book button on your website that's ranking at the top, and you can manage the bookings via WhatsApp or whatever tool you want to use. And again, we see businesses that are like that. So one of the cool things we've done basically is said, yes, you can use Solo's booking software. That's fine. But if you actually just want a place on the digital high street that starts finding new clients, you can connect it to any booking system. So
Mm.
yeah. And then look, it comes down to how much work you want to do. You can set it up within 20 minutes, I'd say. I'd say pretty fast. Like we want it to be, that's kind of internal targeting. Set up within 20 minutes, have something up and running. If you want
Mm.
to do multiple pages, we've got courses which can help you do that. If you just want to hand it over to us and say, within and you want a 48-hour turnaround, we can do the whole thing for you. So
Mm.
so look, it's designed to be unbelievably quick and easy. Some people still would just prefer to outsource it, and that's fine. Our goal though is to make it so that someone, with not a lot of tech knowledge, but with definitely like the will, um, it can do it themselves within, while double screening, watching some Netflix. That's kind of,
I love that. I think it's good that you've got both, definitely, because there will be people that want that control, that creative control, if you like, and then there'll be others that just don't want to have their hands dirty with it at all. So that's really good. My other question to you is, where do you see the future of the SEO going with the introduction of all of the AI? You did touch on it earlier about using AI to write things. What do you think about that?
yes. So that there's, you might be seeing the headlines, Google's dead. Like it's the end of Google, right? Everyone's doing everything on ChatGPT now, and I think it's worth just thinking about your own experience of how you use ChatGPT. So
Mm.
right now, if I'm looking up a recipe, or if I'm wondering something about one of, I just had a baby 6 months ago. If I'm in that phase, I'm like, oh my God, like, should I be sterilizing bottles or something? I go to ChatGPT, right? It's good, it's informational. I've given up going to Google for that. Maybe I want a recipe for how to do something. I might check it out on ChatGPT. Right now, if I'm looking for a local business, I don't go to ChatGPT, and I don't know many people do. I'm just psychologically, I'm not there yet. I still believe in Google. I want to see the reviews. I want to see all of that. Now, if you were to go to ChatGPT or one of the other language models, it basically uses Google anyway, right?
Mm.
In order to pull the listings. So for the moment, good SEO means you'll show up in ChatGPT. There's a few things that it's starting to do with businesses, but right now, just not that many people using ChatGPT to find a local business. And then when they do it, it's basically using Google. So I think
Mm.
that's the state of play now. Now, the question is, right, is how much is it going to change? We're all using AI a lot more. You sit there and I go, I'm using ChatGPT for more and more stuff. ChatGPT is just embedded memory. You might have noticed it knows you, creepily well. And it's because it's working out that if it knows about you and it knows about your kids and it starts to know your credit card details, that they might be able to do more stuff for you. So I wouldn't rule out that we start to use ChatGPT primarily more and more for kind of local search.
Mm.
And then what will happen is the game will change again. The rules will slightly change again, like as simple as that. They will have their own way of trying to find trust signals, their own way of trying to find relevance. And again, that's the business we're in, right? Our goal is to be able to understand the game as it's shifting in terms of discoverability online, whether you call it search engine optimization or answer engine optimization. You might be seeing this AEO term used. You know, our kind of goal is to basically stay ahead of the curve for you on that. Right now, we think it's coming. It's not coming next week. It's not coming next month. It's probably not coming next year. But our goal is basically to keep the software and your website and the ways in which you manage your business so that it's providing all the right indications. So it's a little bit hard to predict 'cause the world is changing quickly. But our job and our kind of commitment is that we're going to stay ahead of the curve for businesses. And if there is this big kind of uprooting or reorganization, you know, bring it on, right? Like it's a tremendous opportunity for local businesses, to break the stranglehold that marketplaces have across Google. And
Mm.
we're doing it for our businesses, but we think it's just a tremendous opportunity if that is the case, because anytime there's a big change like this, that's just opportunity if you're dynamic and you have the right kind of technology provider like us. So
Mm.
there's lots of ways in which it might go over the next 5 years, but I would probably say for now, I wouldn't worry about it too much.
Hmm.
And we know some of the things that we want to build, but we're just not seeing them as a priority yet because we're just not seeing the need to do it.
Yeah. Perfect. Thank you so much. So, right now, before we wrap up, I guess, is there anything that you want to say to anyone that's looking to, either come down the route of working with you guys and doing this, or any advice you've got to anyone that does just want to be able to increase their SEO straight away today?
So I think first thing is like start planning to get off the marketplaces. I
Mm,
don't think the marketplaces are going to exist in 5 years' time, right? I
okay.
say that again. I don't think their business model should exist in 5 years' time. They're built off the back of Google. They do very little marketing in your local area. When was the last time you saw an ad for one of the marketplaces outside of London? You don't, right? Or
No.
Manchester. So they're built off the back of Google, and people are realizing that. And we're not the only people, but Solo's one of the people who's worked out how to crack the code and beat the marketplace in your area. So first comes first, start making a plan to get off the marketplaces. The next thing you want to do, right, is you want to adopt one of Solo's websites and you want to connect it to either the Solo booking system or your current booking system. That might be using Fresh's booking system, but not their marketplace. And start getting a listing, start building your business on Google and not on Fresher or Treatwell or whoever. So when it comes to building your business, the key is to get that Google My Business profile rocking, right? Regular
Hmm.
reviews, regular updates. The biggest hack I can give anyone is set up your Google My Business and just start treating it like Instagram. But also just realize that you don't need to be as discerning and considered on it. Just start doing regular posts, client selfies, even if it's just a picture of your space, regular updates. Start treating Google My Business like Instagram. And then, the next thing is like start thinking properly about your website. Let's start building pages. Let's start making sure that you've had to think about, exactly the keywords you want to cover.
Mm,
And that's where someone like us can help you because one thing we see a lot is just how you would describe your business is not what people are typing into Google.
yes.
That makes sense. Like you might consider yourself, a beautician or an elite beauty therapist. Guess what? No one's typing that in. They're typing pedicure near me. They're typing, or you might consider yourself, you know, a biosculpture, special expert manicurist. Great. No one's searching that. People start searching trusted manicurist, for example. So all of that, thinking about your kind of keyword strategy and having someone like us help out, a very low cost in comparison to what some of these crazy agencies will charge you so that we can start getting your website to reflect what people are searching on Google and then, in the future, chat GPT. And I think
Mm,
that would be the playbook. And I think, it should take you not a lot of money, very little time, and it should be set up within 1 to 2 weeks. I mean, that's really the business we're in. So I'd say, yeah, those are the 4 points. Escape the marketplaces, start building a Google My Business, and then really take it to the next level with a solo website and then a proper keyword SEO strategy.
oh, thank you so much. This gets me really excited for the people that do that. It's such good advice. It really is. Thank you so much.
Hey, the reviews, the testimonials are awesome, right? Like
Hmm.
it's what you know. We're in the mission, right, to help people build their dream business, and we've done a lot of work on like the booking system and all that sort of stuff, and SMS reminders, and it's great. Like it's hard work and it's impactful. But guess what? Like there's lots of booking systems out there,
Yeah.
and ours is very, very good. But the next best one might be 20% worse. It's like a little bit worse. It isn't quite as nice to use. It doesn't work on the mobile. But at the end of the day, what really makes a difference to people's businesses is not, if they can customize the SMS reminders, is if you can put clients regularly in their salon, in their spa, and money in their back pocket. And I think Google right now is the fastest and easiest way to do that for your business.
Yeah, I love that. Thank you so much. I think that that's a hell of a lot for everybody to make note of, write down, and start implementing. So thank you so much. I will leave all of the details of your offering and everything into the description of the podcast on all of the platforms that it goes out on. So if anyone is listening or watching and wants to get in touch with you guys, they'll be able to do that. But yeah, we'll leave it there. And thank you so much for joining me. And thank you everyone for listening.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed today's episode and gained valuable insights that will help you in your beauty business and life. If you did, please take a screenshot and tag me in your stories. If you've got any questions or comments, please feel free to reach out to me on any of my socials. The links are always in the descriptions. And don't forget to subscribe to the podcast and leave us a review. Your feedback helps us improve and bring you more and more great content. Until next time, keep building that business.